Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History File channel again. I'm coming to you today with a book tag because I haven't done one of them for a while. I've got all of my questions on my screen here so I can read off them. This one's called the Personal Library Tag and I found this on the David Wiley YouTube channel. Certainly if you're looking for someone else to follow, go along and follow David Wiley. He's well worth it. He's into his classics, fantasy books. He likes history as well. And he's also doing quite a few videos at the moment on poetry as well. So pop along, pay David Wiley a visit. And the first thing I wanted to do or ask was ask you a favour. If you could put down in the comments below this video which particular parts of history you like, whether it's military or social, or a particular century like the Victorian era, or you like classics and that sort of thing. Just write down in the comments which one you prefer, and then it gives me an idea of what my viewers like to read and what interests them. So it means I can read more books in that particular field as well, and more people are going to like the videos and we can all attract more viewership then. Right, on with the tag. It's called the Personal Library Tag. Question 1. Do you have books around, or do you think of yourself as having a personal library? I would certainly deem that I have a personal library. Most of my books are history based. I've got the odd fictional one laying around, but they do tend to be non-fiction history. And that covers anything from the Roman period right up to almost modern day. That's what I like and that's what I read. So number 2, what does a collection or a personal library mean to you? Well, my books, I think, reflect who I am. If you've walked into my room now and had a look at all my books, I think you'd be quite impressed, especially if you're into history. But it shows someone coming in more about the person that they're meeting, so that they know what I like, what I'm interested in, what makes my brain tick, that sort of thing. And pretty much history is what I go on about all the time anyway, and as I like reading I combine the two. But obviously you can imagine the types of programs I like are like history or anything, documentaries, anything factual, that sort of thing. So I think my personal library reflects who I am. What is your personal library for? Just reading, really. No, actually it's more than that. Is reading. I love reading the books, but I also like learning. I see it as like it's a way of educating yourself more on subjects you don't know, or learning more every day. And I'm trying to bring that hopefully into another YouTube channel where I can do more teaching about what I've learned, and obviously kind of like spread the knowledge sort of thing. So there is a cause for having these books, and that's my reason for having them, is that I really love history. Ever since I think was teenage years I've been into history. Where is your personal library? Is it contained in a single room or spread out all about the house? It's pretty much all in this room. I call this my office because this is where I keep my books, and it's where you can find me on the computer as well. So everything tends to be done in here. I do have another bookcase out in the other room. That's a big bookcase, and also I have a couple of bookcases in my bedroom for, I think that's mainly full of history books as well. Number 5, how many books make up your personal library? Excuse me. I've never really counted them, but I'm thinking there's probably about, well, there's got to be at least 500, between 5 to 600. Although at the moment I'm kind of having a cull on some, a cull, you'd call it, chopping out some of the books that I've kind of read or I've read a number of times, and maybe they're not so much on the histories I like reading about, so I'm getting rid of some of them. And also I tend to, if friends or family like the books that I've got and they've got an interest in them, I'm happy to lend them out to them, as long as they give it back, or they're not going to damage it or something like that. I'm quite, fussy about my books. Number 6, how do you organise your personal library? Well, my bookshelves, we call them cubes. They're like it's a big wooden square, and then it's divided into 4 cubes. And on each shelf you can get about 12 to 15 books on each one. So I've kind of split them into sections or subject sections. So I've got a couple on US Civil War, one here on World War II, another one here on odds and bods. I've got the Eastern Front, World War One, British history, and then I've got a whole couple on Nazi Germany and Adolf Hitler, and then I've got a load of images of war books that I really like, and they tend to cover the whole range, local history and sort of international history. And then I've got one slim bookcase which I keep all me TBR books ready to read at any point. Number 7, do you keep track of your personal library? If so, how? Not really, because I tend to only bring in the books that I want to read, so I can't think of any book in my office that I don't want in here, or I don't plan to read, or haven't read already. So I'm choosy about my books. As long as it's about history, I'll get it in the room. If not, then I'm not really interested in it then. What was it? Number 8. How do you decide to add a book to your personal library? Well, I review books for about, I think it's 4 or 5 different publishers. So they send me the books that I request, and then I obviously review them and then do videos on the books that I like, and then you can also find them on things like my website and social media. So that tends to be how I get most of my books, because I sort of get about 10 to 15 a month from the various publishers, sometimes 20 to 25 as well, but also by my own my own history books as well. I tend to buy online, or I'll pop down the local charity shop and see what they've got going cheap. That's how I get me books. Number 9. When it's time to cull your personal library, how do you decide what stays and goes? Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm in the middle of a bit of a cull at the moment because I want to rearrange my office a bit, because I'm planning to start a new YouTube channel on a different subject. So I'm getting rid of some of the books, not many, but or what I'll probably do is move them to one of my other bookcases in the other room. But yeah, so I'm partly in the middle of moving books around, swapping them around on shelves, sorting out the ones that I've either read a number of times or I'm not interested in keeping any longer. So I'm kind of in the middle of a cull now. I probably should get rid of more of them, but it's my books, and mainly the books in our house are mainly my books, so I tend to keep hold of them because everyone else in the house has their own hobbies and interests. So the history books are mine. Number 10. Does your personal library have books you haven't read or may not read? I would say there's probably only a handful that I haven't read, apart from a TBR list, of course. But there's probably only about a handful of books, but they're books I've picked up along the way and thought, oh, I fancy reading that, and bought the book and just not got around to reading it. There's one from John Keegan on the First World War I haven't read. One book called Spycatcher I haven't read. I still haven't finished my Ulysses S. Grant book yet. But other than that, the rest are on me, or they're the ones I can think of. There's one on the history of Britain I haven't got around to reading yet either. But kind of most of them are in my TBR list and will be read soonish. Number 11. What do you think about the idea of a zero TBR list? Oh. Well, a zero TBR list sounds disappointing to me, because that means I haven't got anything to read. I always believe you should read something every day or learn something new every day, so I'm always with a book. My TBR list is I've got about a TBR list of about 26, 27 books. And that never seems to go down much, or I'll get down to sort of maybe 5 or 6, and then suddenly a whole new load of books come, so it brings the pile back up again. But anyway, I love a TBR list. I always want something to read, something to exercise the mind, and something to learn. How do you feel about / towards your personal library? Well, the books in this personal library are mine. I'm the only one interested in them, apart from if I'm no friends or family outside the house that might want the odd book. But I mean, the books are mine, so the wife has everything else, so as long as I've got my books, I'm happy. But anyway, that's the end of the book tag, the personal library tag. Thank you very much to David Wiley. I saw his last night, and it was very good, and I've enjoyed doing this one. Again, if you don't mind, pop them down in the comments, your favourite historical period, or if you're into a particular subject or battle, or what, maybe it's World War II, World War One, US Civil War, whatever you fancy, or Napoleonic. Please feel free to put that down in the comments down below, and I'll happily start reading more books to try and cater who I'm appealing to. So thank you very much for watching this book tag. I've enjoyed talking to you. If you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. So thank you very much, and I shall see you very soon for another video.